24th. And not surprising power because he has 3 KO wins among his 15 TBL wins. And the Fury would love a power surge from him tonight to help in their quest to secure a playoff spot. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Attack will get the return of Ariel Davis after one match that she missed. She's had a banner season with that undefeated record that puts her second in the overall points in the super lightweight division. Now, she can lay claim, though, to being the best in that division because she has 2 wins over Stacia Suttles, who is just above her in the points. And she hopes tonight to produce yet another win, stay undefeated, and help to lead Atlanta out of the wilderness.
All right, so we've got the launch rounds, the middle rounds, and the money rounds. All of them are 8 rounds apiece. We talked about the power surge for Phoenix.
Entonces, mi gente, bajé ahí un poquito el volumen para yo entrar, ¿verdad que sí? So, bienvenido a Juan Sabelo Todo Deporte. Como pueden ver, nos espera una noche de una cartelera de boxeo con 2 equipos que son increíbles, mi gente. Oigan, los Phoenix Furies y el Atlanta Attack son los 2 equipos que van a estar peleando en este día de ahora. Los muchachos de Phoenix vienen con un fuego tremendo en los puños para buscar nocaut rápido. Pero el equipo del Atlanta trae un ataque veloz que nos detiene para nada. Y entonces, mi gente, yo no sé si ustedes estuvieron conmigo anoche, pero anoche hubo un calentón aquí, que se calentó un boxeador que se salió fuera de serie y se armó un rebú arriba del ring, que se parecía que esto era un deporte de fútbol americano, a donde los dos, o de fútbol latino, donde 2 equipos se confrontaron unos a los otros en un pleito que tuvo que llegar hasta la policía. Esto fue una cosa seria, fuera de serie. Si ustedes ven el video de la versión 24 aquí en Juan Sabelo Todo Deporte, pueden ver ese show. Con eso dicho, vamos a regresar aquí a lo que vinimos hoy. Y con eso dicho, mi gente, siempre yo les pido 3 cosas. La primera es que me regalen un tremendo me gusta para que no se le vayan a olvidar después. Que también el número 2, suscriban y que se recuerden de prender la campanita para que así no se pierdan eventos como estos. Y como tercero, escríbanme en el chat de dónde usted me está visitando y qué le gusta a usted de este nuevo estilo del boxeo, porque este es un boxeo tradicional, ¿verdad? Estamos hablando que el boxeo es tradicional, todas las reglas, todas las cosas, pero en una velocidad bien rápida. Para aquellas personas que dicen que son muy largos, que 12 rounds es demasiado, que 10, que 8 rounds es demasiado tiempo. Entonces, esto está hecho para esas personas que quieren disfrutar todavía el boxeo de una velocidad, en una velocidad rapidísima. Y no solamente eso, esto es punto por equipo. So, cada round es un punto, 2 o 4, dependiendo cómo eso. Vamos a hablar. Si se gana la batalla y se va a decisión de los jueces, sea unánime o sea dividida, es un punto. Si se va que noquearon a uno de los 2 equipos, esos son 2 puntos. Si se va a un knockout técnico, donde la persona para, donde el juez para la pelea por la razón de que el juez no, el anfitrión, para la pelea por vía de que ya no puede seguir, son 4 puntos que entonces gana ese equipo. Y esos son los puntos, como se llevan y cómo se van sumando round atrás de round. Aquí hay muchos pleitos de mujeres, muchos pleitos de hombres. Y créanlo o no, ustedes vienen y ven mejores peleas a veces con las mujeres que con los hombres. Las mujeres por una razón u otra no hacen mucha moriqueta, ni andan buscando cáncer, ni nada de eso. Las mujeres entran dando funda rápido. El hombre todavía tiene ese boxeo del largo ring, que está buscando distancia, que está guajeando y amagando y tratando de meter el terror al otro con los ojos, con la cara, poniéndola fea. Esa cosa ya que que debieran de ya no estar en el juego. No en este juego. No en este juego rápido, no, mi gente. Ustedes saben. Lo que ustedes están viendo atrás ahora mismo es que se están preparando para que esto comience. Porque llegué a tiempo hoy. A veces no llego a tiempo. Para aquellos que me siguen. Y con eso dicho, mi gente, yo espero que ustedes pasen un tremendo momento aquí conmigo en este día de hoy. Especialmente con estos dos equipos, ¿verdad? Que van a estar hoy en este pleito. Y espero que ustedes lo disfruten. ¿Ok? Y con eso dicho, vamos a dejar que toda la gente están pasando para los anuncios. Y vamos entonces nosotros a enseñarles el número de WhatsApp de nosotros. ¿Verdad que sí? Encima de eso tengo que preparar el tema musical de nosotros. Y tenemos las bellas del ring, así que se llaman. No fue que yo le puse ese nombre, mi gente. No vayan a pensar que fui yo que le pegué ese nombre a esas mujeres, no. Así es que ellas se llaman, las bellas del ring. Ahora mismo ellos están pasando por un momento de introducción que le están dejando saber a aquellas personas que son nuevas allá visitándolo a ellos y también por vía de esta comunicación. Lo mismo que yo le dejé saber a ustedes hace unos momentos. No hay necesidad de repetirle eso en inglés a ustedes. Ya que ustedes están aquí viendo este deporte en español con Juan Sabelo Todo. Con eso dicho, mi gente, vamos entonces a hablarle un poco sobre qué estamos esperando aquí en el día de hoy. Son 8 rounds, que son los 8 rounds adelante, 8 rounds del medio y 8 rounds que son del dinero. Se llaman los rounds del dinero. Son 24 rounds en total, ¿ok? Para que vayan aprendiendo. Yo me gusta de vez en cuando agarrar el momento para yo agarrar y introducir. Aquí estamos viendo los dos jueces de hoy, que está Hero, como vieron ahí, y el otro que no llegué a ver el nombre porque estoy hablando con ustedes. Pero como quiera que sea, yo me gusta explicarles todo para que así cuando ustedes llegan, pues si acaso están llegando aquí por primera vez y están viendo este formato en equipo de boxeo, lo están viendo por primera vez. Recuérdense que les quiero recordar que yo soy una persona discapacitada y de vez en cuando me tengo que desaparecer por un rato, tengo que, ya ustedes saben, atender mis necesidades personales. No se me vayan a enojar ni a ponerse incómodo. Eso es simplemente lo que me ha tocado. Con eso dicho, mi gente, vámonos entonces a recibir aquí los equipos que están entrando ahí, como ustedes pueden ver, a la escena. Vamos a subir esto y yo me voy a callar.
Masks get a little attention. That's right.
This is a night when they could virtually clinch a playoff spot.
The coaches for the Phoenix Fury, esteemed trainers Sonny Gutierrez and Joe Guzman. Here is the starting lineup for the Fury. Bantamweight Brenda Hernandez Cardenas. Featherweight Alejandro Meliano. Featherweight Tierra Bryant. Lightweight Kevin Quintero. Welterweight Joaquin Gamberos. Super welterweight Reiner Malderos. Middleweight Jordana Barrera. Heavyweight Manuel Villalobos. Lightweight Marcos Forestal. Super lightweight Rebecca Irwin. Welterweight Demarius Watson. 2025 TBL Most Valuable Fighter. Blood heavyweight Raiko El Coroco Santana. Cruiserweight Charles CP the Champion. And heavyweight Cesar Navarro. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Phoenix Fury. And now please welcome your hometown Atlanta Attack.
Well, Atlanta knows that teams have staged turnarounds before. This team started off with a 27-12 win over Nashville, then lost 5. You see that the point differential significant against them. But we've seen teams turn it around week to week, so Atlanta is in that spot where they have to have it now. And of course, we talked about Ariel Davis. What a terrific performer she has been. One of the noteworthy performers around the league. And as Sophia mentioned at the top, yes, this has been a strong team over the course of its TBL
The head coach of the
tenure.
Atlanta Attack, world-class trainer Sam Arnold. Here is the starting lineup for Atlanta. Bantamweight, Ainete Tupo. Featherweight, Ray Robinson. Former California State Golden Gloves and national champion, Kaylee Knight. Lightweight, Traquan Pettis. Welterweight, Starlina Castillo. U.S. Army veteran, super welterweight, Amina Mitchell. Middleweight, Raul Garcia. Heavyweight, Devon Young. Lightweight, Jeremy Hill. Super lightweight, Ariel Davis. Welterweight, Javon Wolf Davis. Former unified WBA and IBF Super Welterweight World Champion. Light heavyweight, Jason Banana Rosario. Multi-time USA national champion, former Team USA member, cruiserweight, the great Money Powell. And heavyweight, Samuel Clarkston. That is the Atlanta Attack. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you all please rise if you're able to as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem being performed tonight by Shamia Crawford.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming at the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Shamia Crawford with the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the launch rounds between the Phoenix Fury and Atlanta Attack. We begin round 1 at bantamweight. Phoenix, Brenda Hernandez Cardenas. Atlanta, Ainete Tupo.
All right, so Brenda Cardenas coming in here at 9-9. Lost her last 3, the 31-year-old from San Diego. And an upstart, Ainete Tupo. comes in here 4-0.
Yeah, it's her debut season, and Tupou has really done a very good job. You know, we weren't sure what to expect from her when she came on board. She has not had a pro fight in boxing, and she came in here and she's performed extremely well. She had a great amateur career. She was a 2020 semifinals in the women's national tournament she got to. So she's a good boxer.
She's been getting Atlanta hopes of getting off to a good start in here. We saw that she's already on the leaderboard.
She has a good sneaky right hand that she just got in against Cardenas.
Good example of it right there.
Brenda Cardenas went into boxing as a hobby. Then had an 8-2 amateur career, and that kind of catapulted her into being a pro for 4 fights outside of TBL, and she's had a fine TBL career.
Hobby no more.
No.
Yeah, got off, led to something. I always find that to be...
So, vamos a ver aquí, mi gente. Estoy para atrás. Que nos quedan 17 segundos en el reloj. Tenemos a Aniti peleando para los Atlantic Attack. Y tenemos a Brenda peleando para los Phoenix Fury. Por decisión unánime, Atlanta se llevó el primer punto, mi gente. Y para ustedes que son nuevos aquí con Juan Sabelo Todo, esto ahora mismito, eso fue un nocaut. Ok, el nocaut ya dice que el equipo ya tiene 2 puntos asegurados. Ok, los ataques de Atlanta tienen 2 puntos asegurados. Vamos a ver porque pueden pasar cosas a donde ahora viene Phoenix Fury y noquea a Atlantic Attack. Entonces ya ahí es diferente la puntuación. Pero vamos a ver cómo esto sigue. Con eso dicho, mi gente, ustedes saben que están queridos todos. Si tienen alguna pregunta y quieren hacérmela en el chat, pueden hacerlo. Oh, I just realized something. Perdonen aquí, mi gente, denme un segundito aquí. Que hice, cometí un error aquí. Oh, déjame yo ver algo aquí. Y ahí se acabó el round. Estoy mirando que yo puse un mensaje, mi gente, en el chat y salió en inglés. Me imagino yo que es porque los seteos de YouTube me lo presentan a mí en inglés. Ojalá que ustedes lo están viendo en español. Lo que eso yo revisé y a ustedes les sale en español, está bien. Y tenemos aquí otra vez las mujeres peleando de nuevo, mi gente. Tenemos aquí a Tara Brand, que tiene peleando para los Phoenix Fury en 126 libras. Y Kaylee Ann Knight, que está peleando para los Atlanta Ataque, guantes cinta roja, es Kaylee. Y Tira es de Phoenix Fury con los guantes cinta azul. Para que sepan, estas dos mujeres que están bolseando ahora mismo, yo las he visto a ambas. Y ambas mujeres son buenas y batallan sin cansarse. So, vamos a ver cuál de estas dos mujeres quiere más este punto en el día de hoy. Y vamos a ver, mira, como ustedes vieron, varios conectos ahí con Atlanta, ¿verdad? Con Kaylee. Tremenda, una serie de trompas que tiró y la pegó la 3. Muy buenos puntos. Está colectando un uppercut por vía de Tira Brandt. Tremenda uppercut ahí que conectó en la quijada de Kaylee. Guantecito rojo, mejor le digo guantecito rojo y guantecito azul para que ustedes sepan. Vamos para encima. Ahí conecta, uppercut, conecta una izquierda, una derecha a la cara. Como puede ver, ya tiene la cara colorada. Estamos hablando ahora mismo de la rojita, dándole al azul. En que el azul ha conectado 2 o 3 trompadas de la de ella también. Un buen jab ahí por vía de Fury, de guantecito azul. Ay, ay, ay. Si no es una cosa es la otra, pero ¿qué es? Perdónenme, mi gente, que estamos teniendo aquí complicaciones. Yo veo que a ustedes se les fue el sonido.
Trying to please the scoring system in Team Boxing League and put on a good show at the end for the judges.
There's Knight coming in and landing some nice
20
rights with Grant
segundos,
with
24
combinations.
segundos en
It's
el
been
reloj.
very well fought.
Yeah, and the
Están
judges will have to
peleando,
weigh
vamos a ver, esto
between
está muy cerca.
the speed
Yo se lo
of the
doy a
punches from
Atlanta, tal
Grant and
vez.
the volume
Esto va a ser decisión
versus do they
dividida.
think that
Creo que
Knights
Atlanta se
are
lo llevó
heavy enough?
porque
Very good point. Nice
Atlanta ha
body work
conectado
by
2 o
Knight.
3 trompadas más que la otra. Pero ambas han trabajado bastante aquí. Cualquiera de las dos se merece el round. Bueno.
Good job by both these women, and you see that Brandt is better than when she has her bad streaks, and Kaylee Knight is better than her record shows. So
they both stepped up tonight.
Yeah, and fought very well. Now that
Esto
early
aquí
on,
era
there
un
was
pleito
Knight
fuerte.
landing some nice
Porque estas
right
dos
hands.
mujeres
She
la
was
visto yo
very
pelear
busy.
1 y 2
But
y 3
Tierra
veces.
Brandt also got her
Y
shots in
siempre
there.
ella
She
da lo
snuck in a
mejor de
left hook.
ella.
She also landed the right hand a lot, Brandt, and there's one that got in there. It's going to be interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 3 by way of unanimous decision. From Atlanta, Kaylee.
Yo sabía que Kaylee se le iba allá porque Kaylee
So
conectó
Kaylee
más.
Knight gets one to go her way.
Atlanta
Good for
conectó
her.
más.
That streak is over in Atlanta.
Round 4
Off to a
at
4-0
lightweight,
lead.
Phoenix, Kevin Quintero.
Y
Atlanta,
tenemos la bella del
Brooklyn,
ring pasando con el letrero para su público local.
We've seen Phoenix come from as far back as 6 points down and turn things around. So this team has dug early holes before and come out.
Tenemos a Kevin
Pettis is
saliendo.
11-5. He opened up 6-0, lost 3. Now he's won 3.
Tenemos a Kevin
for
y tenemos a Petit. Los dos también lo he visto peleando.
And Kevin Quintero, 2 nice wins in May of El Caballero
Vamos a
and
ver
the
aquí lo
Ghost,
que se
Diego
mueve.
Dominguez.
Yeah, that was impressive. Osvaldo Caballero, you know, in the high 30s in win total
Sí,
in
porque
Team Boxing League, and to beat
Petit-
him is quite an accomplishment.
Petit
Dominguez
le
also
gusta
good. So
boxear,
both these
boxear,
fighters
así
bring a
como
lot
Sube
into
Elena.
this fight.
Se mueve mucho en el ring, usa mucho el jab. Estoy viendo que Kevin le gusta
Loading
mucho
up big shots
comenzar
here. Quintero
tratando de buscar el
involved in one
knockout.
of the most
Vamos a ver
enduring
cuál de los dos se lleva el punto.
images of the year first week against Hebrew Francois when Phoenix trying to nurse a 1-point lead at the end. Francois launched a punch from looked like about 2 countries away. Had to go through customs and almost got in just before the bell. And it would have changed things, but he warded it off and then got Phoenix an important win.
Yeah, that win cemented their win against Boston. And yeah, that was a wild moment. Both these guys are very good fundamental fighters. And similar in style.
Yeah, we see the good jab and the left hook from them both, starting with the jab to set up everything else. The balance is both there, both good. Now then there's the intangible thing here. You're Atlanta, you're 4-0. How much of this energy is now going to seep into the subsequent fighters?
Yeah, and Pettis, of course, in this fight, certainly with his record, is someone that you would imagine could can have success, and even though Quintero's an excellent opponent, so we'll see if it is infectious. You know, with a minute left to go in this round, it's been a pretty competitive round overall between the two.
You mentioned their mirror image-like fundamentals, and that has put us in a situation where they would both have to think it's up for grabs here.
Yeah, I think both, either man would want to do something to put an exclamation mark on this last 30 seconds of the round.
Que Kevin está tratando de noquearlo, pero en ese ataque de él que está buscando noquear, no ha conectado suficiente punto.
Take a big gamble or land a big punch in the final 15 seconds between Quintero and
le van a avisar ya casi los 10 segundos ahora ellos.
Can Atlanta get off to a 5-0 lead, or does Phoenix get on the board with one of its most dependable fighters?
Quintero was certainly busier, but he was just short on a number of punches. So I don't know how many he's going to get credit for. He's used a lot of wide hooks, so didn't quite get there. That was a good body shot by Quintero. And Pettis, from distance, there's an example of one of those punches missing, and Pettis took advantage of that by landing a jab and a straight right hand when Quintero was a little up there.
And the winner of round 4 by way of split decision.
Decisión dividida.
From the Atlanta attack, Franklin Pettis.
So Atlanta, which is in must-win territory, has answered the bell off to a 5-0 lead.
Yeah.
Y como ustedes vieron, Atlanta ahora mismo tiene 5 puntos. Y tiene Phoenix, tiene 0, mi gente. Los Phoenix Fury están totalmente perdiendo por ahora. Ahora 5 puntos en esta competencia por equipo boxeo.
Es guerra en el
no
ring,
es
pura
nada,
determinación.
porque
Desde la campana suena el primer round. Golpe como trueno retumbando en el ground.
Y eso puede pasar en cualquier
respeto en cada acción. Orgullo en juego, corazón de campeón. Respira hondo, siente el
Ayer yo creo que
tambor.
hubieron
Late
5
más fuerte dentro del corazón. No hay vuelta atrás, no hay condición. Aquí se
y
prueba
hubo
quién tiene valor. Esto no es un
juego,
juego, esto es boxeo real.
Ayer hubo mucha acción aquí, mi gente,
Golpe
¿sabes?
tras golpe, rompiendo el dolor, cayendo y subiendo con
Se armó
fuego
un
y
pleito en el
fuego.
ring, que subieron los dos equipos. Tuvo que llegar la policía y todo eso.
Ring, sudor en la frente, mirada feroz, solo uno se queda escuchando la voz de la gloria eterna, llamando tu nombre, dejando tu historia grabada en los hombres. Juan Sabelo, todo deporte presente en la acción, sintiendo cada golpe dentro del corazón.
Getting started. Atlanta has 5 points. They get up to a quick
Esa es la misión.
All right, so here's Camberos and Castillo. So
vamos a ver, aquí
Atlanta has
comienza
5
el
points.
pleito.
Sophia is standing by
Tenemos
with the
a
author of their first one. Go ahead.
Joaquín Camperos.
Yes, I am joined.
Y a Starling
Hey guys, thanks. I am
Castillo,
joined by Jainite.
dos
Now,
latinos.
your coach said that
Vamos a ver, están
you have what it
entrevistando
takes
aquí a
to
una de
get the
las
momentum going
boxeadoras.
and start something for the team, and that's exactly what you did in the first round. What type of motivation do you get knowing that your performance impacts the team as a whole?
Well, being first, yeah, you definitely got to go out there and get it and get right to it. But I think the style of this league is definitely just like action. So, yeah, I know that all the time here.
Now, traditionally, boxing is an individual sport, but changing the format of the sport, how does it change your mindset?
It's definitely good. It's definitely fun to be here with the team, but I said the mindset is always the same. The most important thing for me, I believe in God. And so, you know, having that faith that God's going to do what he does, and you got to just try your best every day. That's what you got to do as an athlete.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
Bueno, yo soy una boxeadora que creo en Jesús.
That was the first fight for Atlanta. Now, halfway through the launch rounds, off to a great 5-0 start.
Yeah, and Starlin Castro, who's making his debut in team boxing. He's a solid pro, 22-1. He just fought Brian Flores. He lost the majority decision, 10 rounds. But Flores is a very good fighter. He's off to a big start here against Camberos. Camberos has done some good things offensively, but Castillo has used his reach and height pretty effectively.
Estamos otra vez con los dos boxeadores de nosotros aquí. Este casi rebaló con 1 minuto y 5 segundos en el reloj. Estamos hablando de que aquí un campero han estado trabajando desde que comenzaron prácticamente. Pero vuelvo y repito, ustedes saben que los hombres se tardan.
Yeah, and Camberos in his debut season in TBL, he's coming in off 2 really good wins. Beat Jason Alpo and Manny Sambroni his last time out. Those are 2 good TBL fighters.
Also 8-0 outside of TBL with 6 knockouts. But talk about extremes all the way. 0-7 as an amateur, 8-0 as a traditional pro, and then right in the middle here with the 3-2. He has experienced
se salió de ring muy bien ahí.
That's for sure. He's doing a little better offensively in the last minute in this round.
Estaba contra la soga ahí.
Has gotten a little bit more done offensively.
Tremenda trompada le pegó ahí
Castillo trying to
guante azul,
close quickly,
pero también el guante rojo está conectando varias trompadas a la
strategically, but not too much time left.
Muy bien trabajado, muy bien trabajado por los dos.
It will go to the judges.
That was a round of 2 stories. The first part of it, Starlin Castillo did extraordinarily well and landed good shots from the distance, like that straight left hand, and did some really good offensive work. And then toward the end of the round, Camberos did better.
The winner of round 5 by way of unanimous decision. From Atlanta, Starlin Castillo.
So it remains.
Es que han estado trabajando, están joseando.
Round 6 at
Phoenix
super
Fury están
welterweight.
lentos. Ahí está la bella de ring presentándole el round número 6 a
Mitchell, 16-10 in TBL. The 33-year-old has recent wins over Hadrian Phillips, and that broke a 4-fight losing streak for him. At Medeiros, in traditional boxing, 9-0, but that goes from 2019 to 2025. Something we were talking about before we came in here, like how hard it is to get fights, even if you're unbeaten. So this is a good platform. There's a look at Mitchell. There's 2 wins helping him.
Yeah, those last 2 wins against Phillips, you know, as you said, he's the only man to beat Yoelis Molina this year, and that's an achievement.
Yeah, so this is one of Atlanta's better TBL performers as his team tries to build on a 6-0 lead.
Medeiros has landed some really good right hooks from the left-handed stances. He's switched back and forth a lot in this round.
Every team in the middle of the pack in team boxing has had at least one night this season. Big performance that maybe you didn't see coming off of recent developments, and this could be Atlanta's turn.
And of course, we saw last night Las Vegas behind, and after the launch rounds, they were able to come back. So Phoenix would like to try and duplicate that tonight if they can.
We saw LA get beat by Phoenix and then go into Dallas and get a 20-0 lead. We've seen the NYC attitude at times come up with big wins, even though that's a 2-win team that needs a win and maybe some help for the playoffs. But every team has at least one big night in them.
Otra vez Atlanta está trabajando.
Good counter right hand by Medeiros, but Mitchell had done some really good body work. Medeiros keeps shaking no to Mitchell when he throws punches and lands, but you know, it doesn't totally negate what they did. And I think when Medeiros switches to lefty, he's a little more effective than righty.
Yeah, it opens up something for him when he goes lefty.
And he's not staying with it long enough, I don't think. That was a good right hand from the right-handed stance from Medeiros. So he should take that out, Bernstein.
They've got earpieces in there.
They hear us, I think.
Hey, it is interesting. A lot of fighters, we've seen this in recent years, switch back and forth with righty and left with no apparent purpose sometimes, just, you know, random.
Yeah, this action in the last part of this round, very, very good. And, you know, was that enough for Medeiros to overcome what Mitchell did? You could make a case that Atlanta's close to moving even farther. That was early in the round where there was a nice right hook by Medeiros, and then Mitchell got him on the ropes and did some good body work that Medeiros assured us was not good. And it was, you know, a pretty close round, but Mitchell may have edged this out.
Fans, the winner of round 6 by way of unanimous decision. From Atlanta, Amina Mitchell.
All right, so it remains all Atlanta all the time.
Round 7 at middleweight, Phoenix, Jordan Barrera. Atlanta, Raul Garcia.
One thing we could agree on, there's no way when we were talking about this beforehand that we thought Jordan Barrera, who we highlighted at the start of the show, would be looking for Phoenix's first points.
Absolutely. That's a very good point, Dave. That is not the scenario that we thought might be the case. And yet he is. He's 5-0, undefeated. You know, he's produced knockdowns in his last 2 fights against Saldana, or well, earlier he did against Saldano. And he's a good point getter for his team, as you see. And he's been excellent.
Right up there in the middle of the pack, and we see Giovanni Estella, who went from New York to Miami and has had a stellar season for the Assassins.
And Raul Garcia, who is a really good pro at 15-3-1, he was a Fight of the Year candidate with Vlad Hernandez in 2024. He's fought tough competition outside of TBL. He's 3-5 in TBL this season in his debut, and he was 0-2 his last time out, losing to Isaiah Elrod. It's just been a tough go for Garcia in the TBL, and he's a quality fighter.
Yeah, and we've seen fighters get into these funks and then turn it around. Whoa, but that may not be the case here.
Knockout, knockout,
we talked about Barrera looking
no
for the first points.
knockout.
He may get a bundle of points with that big shot. Will 7-0 become 7-4? That is what he is.
Otra vez, otra vez,
No, they
otra vez.
down the second time. That
Dice
was
que
a
fue
close
rebalado.
call.
And Barrera
Pero
does
fue
not
detrás de una
agree with the
trompa.
referee's call on that one, but
Fue
he
detrás
has
de una
time to
trompa.
create it again.
He thought he had instant redemption.
Or I should say Garcia.
Rebalado otra vez. Otra vez, eso es
We have
knockout.
a knockdown again.
Eso es knockout, eso es knockout.
That is 2.
Son 2 knockouts ahí.
That's a 3-pointer, a chance for it to become 4 for Phoenix.
3 puntos.
Does he pass the referee's test? He does. A lot of time for Barrera. Coming in there, stalking that extra point. Big left hands. Here comes Barrera.
42 segundos. Otra vez.
He's
Otra
got
vez.
the 3rd knockdown.
3 knockouts.
Well, this is going to be an interesting call. There have been 3. Unless one of them wasn't called, we will.
And they were. It should be the 3 knockdown rule in effect.
And now I think they're going to honor what we're talking about here and call this off and give 4 points to Phoenix.
Well, that's a significant development.
No sé lo que está pasando, mi gente.
Things
Vamos a ver.
around here.
If you're Phoenix, it's all you wanted there. If you're Atlanta, that's all you were hoping to avoid. And just like that, here come the Fury.
So here's the first knockdown from Guerrero. Good straight left hand, and down goes Raul Garcia. And the second knockdown.
Tremendo
again,
knockout.
Knockdown, and finally the left hand sends Garcia down for the third time. And even though there was a little delay, it was appropriately called for the 3 knockdown rule and a big 4-pointer for Phoenix.
TBL fans, the end comes at 2 minutes 45 seconds of the 7th round. A referee in charge waves off the round for your winner by TKO. 4 points going to the Phoenix Furies, Jordan Barrera.
So that is now over 2 nights.
4 puntos en esa sola pelea. Puso ahora a los Phoenix Fury en el juego. Vio lo que yo le estaba diciendo a ustedes temprano. Y aquí estamos en el 8º round de la primera parte, ¿verdad? De este deporte, ¿verdad? De boxeo en equipo. Y tenemos ahora mismo a Devon Young. Y tenemos a Manuel. Y les voy a decir una cosa aquí, no se muevan para ningún lado, porque esto es peso pesado ahora mismo que vamos a ver. Y les voy a decir una cosa, Manuel es uno de los boxeadores que ahora mismo aquí en equipo de boxeo se está vigilando bastante de cerca, porque promete ser uno de los grandes campeones de aquí de este deporte, ¿verdad? Porque ha noqueado varias gente por técnico.
Yeah, and the man he's facing, Devin Young, is a very capable opponent.
So vamos a ver que puede pasar cualquier cosa con el peso pesado. Yo siempre le digo a la gente, ponga el teléfono para abajo, suelta el teléfono, que la más se toma un segundo para tú perderte un gran knockout.
TBL heavyweight fights, I think,
menos de un
punches
segundo.
are thrown, big punches have landed. Let's see.
Yeah, Young beat Nathan.
Ellos le siguen trayendo toda clase de oponentes a Manuel, grande, fuerte y toda la cosa. Y él así como se ve afuera de forma. Oiga, ha noqueado muchísimos boxeadores.
And we saw him get a knockdown in another fight with a vicious uppercut.
Overhand right by Villalobos.
Ustedes van a ver.
Both landing bombs.
Oye, hasta ahora Atlanta ha aguantado un par de trompas buenas de él, pero vamos a ver. Queda 1 minuto y medio en el reloj. No se muevan, no se vayan para ningún lado. Un golpe bajo, le van a dar un receso para que se sane.
See what this delay is here. Just a warning for the fighters. Big shots from both.
Yeah, Young taking his turn landing right hands. Villalobos has done his share also. Young looks to me like he's getting a little fresher in this round than Villalobos. But the thing about Villalobos, just when you think that's the case, he comes up with some big shot. Good body work by Young.
Nice right hand here by Young.
Villalobos están hablando que cuando tú menos le esperas, da una trompa que manda el otro a la lona. Quedan 50 segundos, vamos a ver. Queda bastante tiempo para Villalobos meterle la mano a este hombre, vamos a ver.
When they both were exchanging, but now it's been mostly Devin Young.
Good body shot with the right hand by Young, and then a sneaky right hand over the top. Good body shots here. Remember, Atlanta fighting for its season. Up by 7, you're feeling good. The deflation happens in 1 round, makes it 7-4.
20 segundos.
So this is a critical response.
Yo estoy esperando un knockout en cualquier segundo,
And you know,
13, 12, 11. Le avisan a los 10
Oh,
segundos.
we could be in a case where either fighter might get knocked out. Right now, it's been almost completely Devin Young, and there's yet another right hand raining on Villalobos. What a tremendous finish by Young in this round after a very close
Le lleva
first
una buena
minute.
distancia, como 3 pulgadas de altura, como
There's
pulgada
some
y
of
media
that
de
good offensive work
distancia
by
de brazo,
Devin Young
más
as he
cuidado.
lands the right hand. And the right hand of Young became just a very potent weapon during the course of this round. And there were a couple times where I thought maybe Villalobos wasn't going to sustain
Yo creo
it.
que Atlanta se lo llevó.
Round 8 by way of split decision.
Decisión dividida.
From Phoenix, Manuel Villalobos.
Okay, well, the judges surprised us with that one and surprised Devin Young and angered him as well. But Phoenix adds another point, gets a little closer after the initial onslaught by Atlanta. And we're headed for a great finish. And you're headed to see some great action on the TBL. Dave tells you about it.
Thanks, Al. We're enjoying the excitement of this one and a lot of unfinished business in the Lone Star State to wrap up the weekend as San Antonio and Dallas face off. San Antonio in the playoffs. Dallas still has 3 more shots where 3 wins or maybe 2 could put the Enforcers in the postseason. And then it's on to next week where we're going to have Miami and Nashville going at it. Nashville wants a playoff spot. Los Angeles against Houston. Los Angeles trying for a spot to get into the ladder. And Las Vegas and Phoenix, a great rivalry. We'll wrap it up next week. So a lot on our plate for TBL. Follow us all season long on TBL. We've got you covered.
Pero el nombre queda, nadie lo borra, late en cada historia, en cada campeón. Juan Sabelo todo deportes, vive en el ring, vive en la canción. Yeah. Boxeo. Juan Sabelo todo deportes. Yeah. Luces bajas, el ring encendido. Se siente el peso de lo vivido. Esta noche pelea, la arena va a temblar. 2 esquinas listas, nadie se va a rajar. Guantes al aire, se siente la tensión. Es guerra en el ring, pura determinación. Desde la campana suena el primer round. Golpes como trueno retumbando en el ground. Sangre, sudor, respeto en cada acción. Orgullo en juego, corazón de campeón. Respira hondo, siente el tambor. Late más fuerte dentro del corazón. No hay vuelta atrás, no hay condición. Aquí se prueba quién tiene valor. Esto no es un juego, esto es boxeo real. Donde el alma grita y no existe lo normal. Golpe tras golpe rompiendo el dolor. Cayendo y subiendo con fuego interior. Esto no es un juego, esto es lucha sin fin. Donde el miedo muere cuando entras al ring. Sudor en la frente, mirada feroz. Solo uno se queda escuchando la voz de la gloria eterna, llamando tu nombre, dejando tu historia grabada en los hombres. Juan Sabelo todo deporte presente en la acción, sintiendo cada golpe dentro del corazón. Round tras round la historia se escribe, cada golpe dado es prueba de lo que vive. Caer y levantarse, esa es la misión. El ring decide quién tiene el corazón. Mirada fija, nadie quiere caer. El público grita, se siente el poder. No hay distracciones, solo conexión entre mente, cuerpo y determinación. Siente el silencio antes del final.
Con Emilia Moore. Entonces vamos a ver si hay una entrevista que va a hacer. Okay.
So Ariel, this season TBL, I mean you've been through
Emilia
2 seasons
está
now.
ahora
3.
mismo.
This is your 3rd season.
Hay una situación con Emilia. Primero, déjame yo dejarle saber a ustedes. Emilia tiene una pelea ahora de grande liga tradicionales. Entonces ella es una de las que viven anunciando este deporte cuando ella está afuera de tiempo de pelea. Ahora ella está en tiempo tiempo de pelea, que va a tener una gran pelea ahora. Y como ustedes pueden ver, ella está haciendo esas entrevistas desde su casa para mantenerse dentro de la cartelera y para que, tú sabes, para seguir dando su parte, la parte que ella pone aquí. ¡Wow! ¡Qué trompa! Que el bolsillo de las mujeres está creciendo. Que también el bolsillo en equipo también está creciendo bastante. Entonces, que ahora mismo se está ofreciendo en bolsillo en equipo, ¿verdad? Está ofreciéndole a más oportunidades a las mujeres, porque ahora están entrando más mujeres a la cartelera de bolseo, a los bolseos, a esta profesión.
Why do you think women are kind of being drawn to this as opposed to just going directly into traditional side?
Entonces, que ella, ¿cuáles son sus opiniones? Que porque ella cree que las mujeres están viniendo para el lado de deporte en equipo, bolseo en equipo, que al lado de tradicional.
Yeah, it's definitely opportunity that you can't pass up on, and it's keeping you sharp. You're getting a bunch of different looks.
En mi opinión, yo siempre voy a hacer los dos. El bolseo tradicional, porque obviamente hay mucho dinero en el bolseo tradicional cuando a uno tiene chance de subir. Pero también aquí en bolseo en equipo también nos pagan bien, nos pagan lo que nosotros no merecemos, en el sentido para mantener nuestra práctica viva, nos mantiene a nosotros en forma, nos mantiene a nosotros activos para mantener todas las licencias requeridas en el bolseo. También encima de eso está ofreciendo bastantes oportunidades a las mujeres. El deporte está creciendo de todas las formas. Entonces sí, me gusta y siempre voy a hacer los dos si están los dos.
Opportunities, or you're looking at this challenge ahead that feels weighty. You know, there's people are making publicity out of it. They're trying to sell it because it's worth selling. It's two incredible athletes. How do you shoulder that? How do you know, especially as you had said before, this is an athlete who's your friend, a very close dear friend of yours. How do you handle that so that you quiet the noise and are able to execute perfectly?
I think it just comes down to respect, you know, like me, Stacia,
aparentemente hay una pelea que se va a armar con ella, que le están dando mucha fama, la están, ¿cómo te digo? La están anunciando bastante, la están promocionando mucho y cosas, que es como una persona que boxea, que es como amiga de ella, que como ella está manejando esa situación. Ese con mucho respeto, porque hay que tener respeto en este deporte. Yo voy a darle mi todo, gane, pierda o se empate. El hierro, peleando con hierro. Yo soy una guerrillera, yo peleo. Yo quiero ganar. Yo quiero ganar, pero al final del día, la sincera verdad es que yo estoy contenta de que yo sea un participante
Atlanta was off to the races, won the first 6. Phoenix with a knockout and then a close decision in round 8 right there. So although Atlanta has dominated, it's 7-5 for them. Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein with you. And Al, when you look at this now, because of that graphic and what we saw, now Ariel Davis's next fight is even more significant.
Yeah, after that questionable decision,
que ahora su próxima pelea es mucho más significante ahora que oímos esto.
Ariel Davis is in a very important spot. Now she is taking on a relative newcomer in the TBL, Rebecca Irwin. In fact, is a newcomer in professional boxing. This is her second TBL fight and her second professional fight. So it's a tall order for her.
Es nueva en la profesión, en bolseo profesional. Otra palabra, salió reciente de amateur.
Up 7 in a must win, down to 2. Here comes the character test, and let's take it inside.
Entonces ya vamos a comenzar los próximos 4 rounds. Recuerden que yo le dije que son 8 rounds en la primera parte de la cartelera. Son 8 rounds, lo que se llaman la parte del medio de la cartelera. Y después son 8 rounds, que son las últimas 8 partes, que son las 8 partes del dinero.
All right, a rematch of round 1. Won by Atlanta as the attack had a great beginning with 6 wins, and now it's the rematch. And I really think that the mindset angle now becomes bigger because of what Phoenix has done, creeping up on Atlanta to be down just 2.
Yeah, and we got to hear from Haneti Tupu in her interview, you know, about how it factors into your considerations, the team aspect of this. And she said it does, but it doesn't in a way, right? You have to just go in there and take
Yo le voy a decir la verdad. Haniti está bajada la mujer. No le está dando chance a Brenda de que entre.
Since coming to the TBL, making her debut this season.
Brenda era de los guantes azul y Aniti es de los guantes rojos. Está peleando para el equipo rojo, trata ataque. Y mira, les voy a decir la verdad, Brenda mete mano. Oyeron, Brenda mete mano. Pero por lo que estoy mirando aquí, a Anita no le queda ahí break de que ella meta la mano.
And it's intriguing now for Brenda Cardenas. You know, she wants to be aggressive and wants to come in.
La frenó y le frenó ahí con un golpe seco.
But she's taking some.
Ahí se dieron las dos al mismo tiempo.
And she's got to get that right hand in better than she has been. It's been a little kind of wide and looping.
And in the first fight, Tupu was able to take advantage of the wide shots and get her counters in. They fought in round 1.
Brenda no es fácil tampoco, ¿oyeron?
Cardenas was able to win her last time.
Pero Anita está manteniendo la distancia con esos jabs y esas combinaciones.
TBL with a split decision over Jordan Edwards.
Oh, no knockdown there.
Tonight it's been tougher for her, and that, luckily for her, was not called a knockdown. It didn't look like it really was a punch. But Tupu has been effective again in this round.
To the good movement, and basically she's got a lot to shoot at here with how Cardenas comes in wide, setting up what she hopes to be big shots, and if you can see that and step forward rather than back.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. And that's what Tupu is doing, keeping herself in punching range to counter. You have to have confidence in your ability to counter. And she's doing that. Right there, perfect example of it, what you said. And she got the right hand in. Cardenas with a little bit of a left hook, and that hasn't been a big factor for her.
All right, so Atlanta now in pressure rounds. Does the attack get a win here and push it back to 3? Whereas Phoenix gotten within 1.
Tupu again doing a pretty precise job of punching. This is where she kind of pushed Cardenas down, and that of course was not called a knockdown appropriately by the referee.
TBL fans, the winner of round 9 by split decision. From Phoenix, Brenda.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Se lo llevó Brenda. No
this
sé
is
qué
an
pasó
intriguing
ahí.
evening for the judges.
Pero se lo llevó
Goodness
Brenda.
gracious.
All of a sudden
Y ahí
now,
está la
within 1
bella
minute.
del ring.
Atlanta, Kaylee,
Está dejando de saber al
Now you
público
know that
de que están en
this
el round
factors in
número 10.
to the fighters as they come out. And, you know, when are we going to now? Think about Atlanta. 7-0. Now it's 7-6. You thought you won 2 of them. And, you know, who is going to be able to step up and help you shake this off?
Yeah, and we, you and I have spent a career trying to be fair to all officials. So when we're shocked, we're shocked. Now, here's Kellyanne Knight, who coming out aggressively here against Tiara Brandt. We mentioned Kellyanne Knight, who lost 2 split decisions to Clauses her last time out and got the nod the last time here tonight against Brandt. Now he's coming out like a whirlwind saying, well, I've seen my teammates lose fights that we thought we won, so I'm trying to leave no doubt.
Yeah, and then it's going to affect the styles of the fighters in urgency.
Yes.
Yeah, especially tonight for Atlanta, because this is must win. And at some point, you have to get over that, oh, here we go again syndrome.
Yeah, Brandt getting in some nice right hands, but the early part of this round was dominated by Knight, but we still have a long way to go in this round. And these 2 women put on a terrific round the last time they fought.
Yeah, there was high-quality shots being landed by both. Great technique. There's a good sneaky right hand by Brandt as Knight was looking for the left hook.
Y está botando sangre Atlanta.
Willing to
Guantes rojos.
to get close enough to try and do her best.
Ahorita se lo ganó los guantes rojos. Parece que entró Tiara Brandt. Entró como más enfocada en ganarse este round. Porque ella es bien seria con su vaina. Ella está creando una carrera para el futuro, So, me imagino que ella vino decidida que este round no se lo va a dejar ganar. Vino trabajando fuertemente. Lo que no hizo ahorita lo está haciendo ahora. Vamos a ver. Le ha sacado sangre a Atlanta. ¡Oh! Una serie de combinaciones de 5 trompas y la pegó todita. Por vía de Brandt. De tierra, guantes azules, un uppercut ahí. Pero están de cara a cara, eso de tú a tú. De tú a tú como 2 gallos ahí parados. Si las gallinas pelearan como los gallos, hubiera dicho yo 2 gallinas, pero están como los gallos.
From a Muay Thai background, and she's had to refine her boxing skills in TBL, and she's done so. And so is Knight with a lot of experience. This is a great
wow!
2 of them tonight between these 2.
Wow! Buen trabajo!
If she gets it. And for Knight it would be, I guess, the accuracy.
Wow, buena. La mujer vino decidida a ganar ese round. Vino decidida, le partió toda la boca y toda la nariz. Atlanta le dio como es, pero tiene buena quijada. Tiene buena quijada Atlanta, guante rojo. Buena quijada, pero este round se lo llevó Phoenix. Sí, peleó muy bonito ella, peleó muy bonito. Por eso yo me sorprendí que ahorita ya se dejó ganar tan fácil. Porque ella mete mano, yo se lo dije a ustedes que ella mete mano. Se lo dije. This is unanimous. Se lo llevó. Se lo llevó un round cada una. Hasta ahora un round cada una se llevaron. Ahora, tiene buena quijada la otra, tiene buena quijada. Y ahora viene el round número 11, como podemos ver, por las bellas del ring.
11-1 outside of TBL from 2015 to 25. He had a 6-year break. TBL, he's 1-1. Beat Osvaldo Cato and lost to Alan Medina. Caballero he beat. And Hill is last 2 wins over Roger Hilly.
And of course, we mentioned beating Osvaldo Caballero is quite an achievement. So that was something for Forrest Out. And Jeremy Hill had been, really good fighter outside of TBL, who has fought, high-level competition. Had a win over Malik Montgomery, a major win outside in boxing, and yet he is 4-3 in the TBL. It's been an up and down journey for him, but he looked very good in those fights against Roger Hilly, who is also a good fighter.
Here's Forrestal going to work with some good body shots. The knockout in round 7 for Jordan Barrera, along with a couple of
Cine está trabajando.
after that went to
Cine está trabajando.
Changed the body.
Y esto está empate, mi gente, 7-7. Esto está 7-7. Que era lo que yo estaba prediciendo. Tú sabes, pero cuando yo vi, wow, que estaba 6-0 y de bueno. Las predicciones se me fueron arriba.
It's going to make its appearance in this fight against Forrestal, and it can land against a lefty, and the way Forrestal is fighting, that left hook would be a good weapon. But we haven't. There it is. Well, he heard me too, Dave. It's same earpiece. Same earpiece we had before. There's the hook again from Jeremy Hill. He's got power.
And all of a sudden he found some places to use it. And it's interesting how opportunity just comes up. Emotions can change. So good little run by Jeremy Hill.
And these have all been very good rounds. I mean, tonight we have seen the best of TBL, in my opinion, because we've seen drama, we've seen excitement, and we've seen just very good, solid rounds of boxing. Jeremy Hill has made a good comeback in this round from a beginning that wasn't perfect for him.
Yeah, we've got drama and angles galore as this Atlanta team trying to respond to the big run that Phoenix had after Phoenix was getting blown out by Atlanta.
Can Atlanta get a close decision? This is a close round. There's a good left hand by Hill and a big right hand by Hill. That will help. He has made a big comeback in this round.
¡Ay, lo tumbó! ¡Knockout!
May have been the most important.
Con los últimos 10 segundos en el reloj, knockout. No se puede parar, la paró la pelea. Knockout técnico. Son 4 puntos. Atlanta. Wow, el hombre no se pudo parar.
He made it academic.
Jeremy Hill has been waiting for this one.
Wow, mira, tiene no tiene pierna todavía. El pobrecito está tirado en el suelo como una tortuga sin brazo y sin pierna. Esa fue que lo noqueó, míralo.
And I believe suffered some kind of additional injury to his leg, but this good offensive work by Jeremy Hill.
You saw him looking over at the corner after he'd...
yeah, you can see how his left leg bent in an odd position, and what was definitely a knockdown became a knockout.
No se pudo parar porque aparentemente también se dio un golpe. Mira cómo está esta gente allá, tirándole. Oye, le estoy diciendo yo a ustedes, mi gente. Esto está duro, esto. Oye, lo que usted ve aquí, en estos equipos por boxeo, con JuanSabeloTodoUniverso, oye, no lo ve en ningún lado, en ningún lado. Los invito a que vengan a disfrutar y a gozar los mejores knockouts que hay en televisión. Ay, y oiga, pero lo más bueno que todo es que esto es gratis, mi gente, gratis. Vamos para encima. Estamos aquí con JuanSabeloTodo viendo esto con emoción.
Premier performer who has won 25 of her last 26.
That's pretty good.
Hence, I call her the human cash register of points in this division.
I like that nickname you given her.
Thank you.
Now for Rebecca Irwin, a daunting task, but you know she's 1-0 in the Muay Thai world, 0-1 in TBL in her one fight against Natalia Denise in a split decision. Denise also kind of an
y recuérdense que aquí tenemos la nueva Rebeca. Rebeca Ewing, que hay que ver esta pleito cerrado. No se vayan para ningún lado. Es más, coja el teléfono, póngalo al revés y póngalo en el suelo. Para que así no le dé la tentación de cogerlo. Para que no vaya a perderse este gran evento de hoy. Vamos a ver lo que estas dos mujeres hacen aquí arriba del ring hoy.
Try to get that big bulge back up to 4 again.
And Davis, in her first match of this season, did get a KO win over Jenny Smith. So she has a knockout victory this season. It's not to discount Rebecca Irwin this early in the round, but it's just a fact.
Irwin 3-0 as a kickboxer, 1-0 in Muay Thai. Now coming in here and trying and to pick up the nuances of this sport, and you have to go against the very best right away.
She took that right hand very well from Davis. That was one of Davis's better right hands, but and there's another one.
But Davis is creeping in, sensing possibility of more.
It's going to be up to Irwin, who has landed a couple of good, decent shots of her own. It's going to be up to her to counterpunch effectively, or Ariel Davis in this last minute is going to do what she did before and just kind of keep creeping in. And there's the jab that sets up the right hand for Davis.
Oh, there's the big right hand, as you called it, that landed in and give you that jab look, and then suddenly the right hand is...
Pues sí, mi gente.
And these two women will meet again later.
Vamos a ver, vamos a ver. So, esta pelea es la primera de ellas dos. Y van a pelear de nuevo. Y fácilmente la ponen en el último round del 24. Yo estoy prediciendo aquí. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver. Está como Rebeca, está como media, no sé. Como que está tímida. Rebeca está tímida, vamos a ver. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver. Despierta, Rebeca, despierta, despierta. Y le suena los 10 segundos. Rebeca está un poquito apretada, pobre. Recuérdense que este es su debut. Ok, este es su primer pleito entrando a profesional, pero en amateur ella estaba acabando con todo lo que se le ponían adelante. Por eso es que están diciendo que es round de B. Pero vamos a ver, está tímida la mujer por primera vez. Vamos a ver cómo va ahí en el round 24 o en el 22 donde la pongan allá dos de nuevo. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver.
Irwin on the ropes and did some good work, and then it's that last segment in the round where you pointed out she came in looking to do more damage, and she did on the inside. She ended up landing some really good shots.
TBL fans, the winner of round 12 by way of unanimous decision. From the Atlanta Tech, Ariel Davis.
All right, so Atlanta back up by 5. Halfway through the middle rounds, Jeremy Thrill Hill gives Atlanta a big lead again, and we'll pick it up right after this.
Juan, no queda, eso se vendieron.
Pero el nombre queda, nadie lo borra, late en cada historia, en cada campeón. Juan Sabelo todo deportes, vive en el ring, vive en la canción. Yeah. Boxeo. Juan Sabelo todo deportes. Yeah. Luces bajas, el ring encendido. Se siente el peso de pelea, la arena va a temblar, dos esquinas listas, nadie se va a rajar, guantes al aire.
Y
TKO.
aquí vamos ahora a comenzar con el próximo.
Has a string of
Los
3 straight
próximos 4
stoppages.
rounds.
So he can show you some power. Javon Davis,
Recuerden que
31 and
estos son los rounds
16
del medio.
in TBL. He's one of the TBL originals. He's lost 6 of 7. So
Tremendo
trying
jab,
to
buen
get
jab de
something
nuevo.
going. Lost 2 to Castro, 1 to Cal Walden.
You know,
Javon Davis
he's
pelea
having
bien.
a down season.
Pelea
Javon
bien, lo ha
Davis,
visto
3-7,
peleando bien, tira esa
and
ese jab muy
he
bien.
came into this
Es
season
agresivo.
28-9,
Pero
and
vamos
now
a
he's
ver
got
que
that record that gives him
Watson
231-16.
está metiendo mano. Vamos a ver.
Demarcus Watson's an interesting guy. He was 11-0
Tremenda derecha ahí metió Watson, como vieron
coming into
ustedes.
this debut season in boxing outside of TBL. But I noted when he did that 10 of the 11 pro opponents he had losing records. So we didn't know how good Demarcus Watson was. But he showed us how good he is. He's 4-0 in TBL, and in June 7th, in his last outing, he got 2 wins over Elijah Williams. He's fought very well in team boxing.
All right, as they continue on, we've got Sofia Gutierrez standing by with Tierra Brandt.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Tierra. Now, Tierra, we saw you in the ring in rounds 3 and 10. Now, in the 3rd round, it didn't go your way, but you came back in the 10th, and it went your way. What adjustments did you make?
En 2 pleitos, te vimos en el round, en 2 rounds. En el primero y el segundo. En el primero tú no perdiste, pero en el segundo veniste decidida a ganar.
Now, what type of motivation does it give you, knowing that your performance inside the ring impacts the whole entire team?
It's a little crazy. It's not pressure, but it's almost a fuel. You know, this is again a team sport now, so you know we fuel each other, we try to pick each other up. Like we said earlier, it's 1 round, so you lose. It's all right. If you got another one, you got to do your hardest to kind of come back. But now, you know, as a team, we're picking each other up every round.
Thanks, Tierra. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sophia.
Como un
That's a nice
equipo
way to
uno
put
tiene
that.
que
It's not
pelear
pressure,
cada
it's
round,
fuel.
tratar de ganar. Pero tú sabes, a veces se
This is
pierde,
an
pero
intriguing
para eso
fight.
estamos como
We've had
equipo.
so many
Nos
like it,
levantamos
right?
los espíritus
When we
cuando
look
nos
at
va
these
mal,
two fighters,
para
they're
que
both getting
entonces si
some
tenemos
good
que pelear
work
de
done.
nuevo, venir con los espíritus
And
subidos.
it's a
Pero
really,
eso
really
es todo.
good, even matchup.
And at a big point in this contest, it has been a night of runs, each team going on them. Atlanta starting out with a 7-0 lead. Phoenix coming all the way back to tie it. And now Atlanta up by 5 again.
Davis, the 28-year-old with more experience overall than Watson.
Yo regreso
in the
ahora.
TBL certainly, and he's 8-1 in pro boxing outside of it. Watson's been a little busier. Big, nice right hand by Watson.
All right, so they come to the end. Round number 13.
Interesting round in that Watson was coming forward most of the time trying to make the fight, but Davis did some good work, and Watson was having a hard time landing some of his punches. Davis did a good defensive job, so this one is going to be intriguing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 13 by way of unanimous decision, from Atlanta, Javon Davis.
He brought it home with the gestures. Good for Javon Davis, and Atlanta back up by 6.
Round 14 at light heavyweight. Phoenix, Raico Santana. Atlanta, Jason Rosario.
Very important win for Atlanta to get before Raico Santana comes in here for Phoenix. One of the decorated fighters in this league. 17-1 last year in this league.
And fascinating because he's facing Jason Rosario, a former world champion, but a champion at 154 pounds. And now fighting at 175 in the TBL, and he's had some misfortunes, knocked out 4 times in his last 8 fights, and Santana is coming right after him. And, you know, Rosario fought as a middleweight in his last 4 fights, but 175 is high weight to go to.
Santana fighting like he's aware of that scouting report. Lands a couple right here, and Rosario just trying to cover up, and just the way he pawed with his jab, he doesn't really trust it.
And a long way off for Rosario. He's been off for 15 months after his last fight in which he was stopped by Jesus Ramos.
And then he comes back against the, for the most valuable fighter in the league last year. Not a get your feet wet type of matchup.
Raiko Santana is all-out aggression, and we've seen some evidence of that in this round. Now, Rosario had been a good power puncher at 154. He's got a good left hook and has pop in his punches. Whether he has it at this weight, we'll see.
Atlanta up by 6. The attack has been up by as much as 7. And so basically, again, 2 ways to look at it. 1, you want to get wins, but 2, you have to avoid getting stopped and giving it all back in one fight.
Big right hand by Santana. Raiko Santana is a very tough man to deal with in TBL because his style is all about being aggressive and being very good in this round. He's with an 8-2 record here in season 4. I mean, he's just been tough.
Made big marks for the league with that 1-round knockout over Stephen Hilton on a pay-per-view card last year, right after the TBL season, and credited this league for helping him start faster.
Yeah, and he really bombed Nelson out in that fight. He was after him, and it was a big upset victory. And he is showing it here tonight. He's showing an ex-champion that it's tough to come up this much in weight and tough to face a man like Santana. But a low blow, and the stoppage for that.
Right, so final seconds. If you're Phoenix, you're thinking, okay, we probably got a point back. And if you're Atlanta, you're probably thinking, okay, it's only 1. We still have a margin here. All right, so they'll come to the conclusion, go to the judges.
Yeah, there wasn't much offensive work done by Rosario in that round. It was almost all Raiko Santana, and he put Rosario against the ropes a lot. Not everything got in, but there were some big power punches that did get through, and there's a nice right hand that made it through, and then a punch that will stray low for Rosario. There it is. That was definitely south of the border, as they say, and it was a stoppage.
Fortunately for him, he didn't lose a point.
Boxing League fans, the winner of round 14 by way of unanimous decision. From Phoenix, Raiko Santana.
Right. Every time a team has won a fight, it has resulted in a streak.
Phoenix, Charles Pugh.
Well, that happened now with Pugh and Money Powell. Charles Pugh at one point won 19 in a row last year. He was a dominant force for Phoenix, helping drive that team to the playoffs. He's also had a 5-fight losing streak. 39-year-old from Cleveland. Last he had a split with David Stevens.
Yeah, Pugh came into this season 22-1, but he's 3-5 this year. And Money Powell moved up to cruiserweight this season to help his team, and he's 5-3 since, and he has produced a lot of points. A KO win over Shamar Baxter and a knockdown against Steve Cunningham, and those 7 wins, and he's been a point machine as well.
And in the last outing, he split with D'Angelo Leachman, who we've seen has become one of the better fighters in this league.
This is really, to me, a very interesting matchup. Pugh's trying to this 39-year-old's trying to regain his magic from last season. And Money Powell has found a home for himself up in a new weight division.
In the backdrop against it all, Atlanta winning by 5 in a must-win scenario for this team. hasn't trailed in this contest. And Money Powell saw an opportunity, scored that right hand, and Charles Pugh with the smiling faces syndrome. Yes, it did.
Yeah, 2 of them really. They were so quick. Pugh coming back aggressively, which he's known for when he's fighting well.
He is a straight ahead, generally a plotter, in your face type of a fighter. And you have to outwill him, outgut him, and outmove him if you want to get that victory.
Yeah, Money Powell has a way of deadening the aggressive fighters. He did that to Yuneski Gonzalez, where he deadens their offense with his ring IQ and clever approach to this, which, you know, was partially honed, again, the power right hand, partially honed by his great amateur career, where he's ranked #1 in the U.S. And there's Pugh doing what you said, Dave, coming forward.
Yeah, and this is turning into a home run derby for these fighters. They're both into it. They're both, okay, you got yours, I got mine. You take a look at the body language. If you can enjoy being in a slugfest where you're getting hit with some big shots and throwing some, these guys are enjoying this back and forth right now.
Yeah, it's who runs the most right hands and the biggest ones right now. Both men have done it. We have had so many close rounds.
Yes.
Tonight, and this is yet another good body work there a moment ago by Powell. A couple of veterans of team boxing putting on a good show during this round. Charles Pugh at 39, a little less volume in the hit from him that we've seen before in TBL. There's the early in the round. That's a right hand by Powell, and a second one that landed. And again, Powell with the right hand, but Pugh would get his in as well. There's another one.
They both had some signature shots, and it was a different look from Pugh, too. You mentioned the less volume as he tried to load up and make them mean more.
The winner of round 15 by way of unanimous decision. From the Atlanta Attack, Money Powell.
That's a big one for Atlanta to go back up 6.
Our final middle round will be in the heavyweight division. Phoenix Cesar Navarro. It lands on Samuel Clarkson.
Navarro, 2-3, 2 losses to Kai Brooks last year. Split with Carlos Romero in his last. And Clarkson, 10-4, split decision. The solid efforts, some split decision losses.
Sam Clarkson always comes out aggressively, and he is doing it again here tonight. He's a fighter that came all the way up from 168 to be a heavyweight, and you see he's got a 2-fight win streak going, and he's a fighter who, because he came up from that lower weight class, is a little different kind of heavyweight. He likes volume punching.
And tries to bring his speed up there, but he is on the canvas now. And again, Phoenix trying to power its way back into it. And he's not entirely steady here. Is Clarkson. Navarro with 4-point ambitions and 4-point opportunity.
And 2 minutes left to go in this round. Clarkson attacking aggressively, but Navarro countered him, and Clarkson still, as you point out, not 100%, I don't know.
And for Atlanta, key can be just don't want to let the bottom fall out and have a 4-point.
It's interesting that Clarkson still attacking, right? I mean, he attacked before, got knocked down and hurt, but he's still coming forward.
Yeah, and that is fine for Navarro because it opens it up for him. And Clarkson just throwing big shots. We don't need no stinking jabs. That's a push down.
Yeah, and a clubbing punch on the back of the head by Navarro. And he gets a warning for that.
And in both of these, you're living dangerously because, yeah, if a point had been deducted there, couldn't have been argued that strenuously. And this is when the fighters, remember, they're also in there for their teammates.
But this referee is killing the clock for Clarkson.
And the momentum of the fight, because it's a furious battle.
Clarkson coming back with a vengeance. Wow.
These guys are pouring it out. They talked about that one fight of the year. You just lay everything down. And that has been Atlanta tonight.
Yeah, and Clarkson has had some brawls this year already, and this one is another one.
Now, if you're Atlanta and you only get out of here with a -2, it's not the end of the world.
Now, the referee did call timeout, apparently, at that point, so we're getting some, that's why there's more seconds here in this round. And Clarkson's made a good comeback, but because of that knockdown, it would probably still be a 2-point round against him.
Get a good close-up look at two guys bringing everything. So Phoenix has gotten it back within arguing range yet again.
Here's the knockdown when he's coming in and doing a great job. Got hit with, I think that might have been kind of an equilibrium shot.
Yeah.
Maybe got him on the temple. And then that's the hammer punch from the MMA. I'll tell you what, that could have been a point deduction.
Very lucky when it happens in front of the referee.
Of round 16 by way of unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Phoenix Furies, Cesar Navarro.
So on a night that Atlanta has had its best effort of the season, Phoenix is still not going away. We'll be heading to the money rounds with Atlanta trying to bring home an absolutely necessary triumph. Everything is going the Attack's way. Can they continue? We'll find out soon. All right, after the middle rounds, 14-10 Atlanta, the Attack doing a number on the Phoenix Fury. However, they can't put this team away yet. Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein with you as we review the middle rounds. So many things going well for Atlanta tonight, but Phoenix refuses to go away.
Yeah, I want to make a bold statement here. I've been broadcasting this season for TBL, my inaugural season, and I've seen a lot of fun nights. This one high on the list because we've seen fights that were very even. We've seen a lot of drama, a lot of power, and a little controversy.
Controversy and some knockouts. And where did it all end up? 14-10. Let's take a look at how we got here. Atlanta getting off to a big start. And here's to you, Ray Robinson. Your first victory in TBL, and you make it a double with the knockdown. At that point, Atlanta got off to a 3-0 lead and a sense that this could be a special night, especially when they won the first 6 fights tonight.
And then Jordan Barrero said, not so fast, because he was taking on Raul Garcia and scored not 1, not 2, but 3 knockdowns. And the fight would be stopped because of the 3 knockdown rule, and he would get a 4-point win that pushed Phoenix back.
And Phoenix got even closer. In fact, came all the way back with Tierra Brandt in the second fight against Kaylee Ann Knight as she got going with her jab. Terrific fight by these women. We said it at the time, a round of the night candidate. We still think it could hold up. And this brought Phoenix at the time all the way back from 7-0 to a tie.
And then round 11 happened where Jeremy Hill, with just seconds remaining, scored this knockout against Marcos Forrestal, who fell, injured himself as well, but that was prevented from getting up. It was a 4-point win for Atlanta. They were back.
So the Thrill Hill put them up, and that put us to round 16. Cesar Navarro, and that would be Vegas coming back as he lands a knockdown. And Vegas gets itself back within contention. 14-10, a lot of power on both sides. So when you look at this with Atlanta, you're sensing they need to have it. You can sense the tension on the sidelines there, and can they get over the top? I think of a horse race when a horse needs a few more strides to the wire, but can it get there? So now we go to the round to watch, and it's another big story in here with Charles Pugh again.
Yeah, round 19, cruiserweights, veteran cruiserweights in CBL, won by Money Powell the first time these two men fought. They're going to have a fairly quick turnaround, and we'll see that if that impacts the 39-year-old Pugh. But Powell winning a pretty close matchup the first time, that one could have a big impact on who wins this overall match.
All right, Atlanta up 4. Will that stay? Let's go inside to the money rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the money rounds between the Phoenix Fury and Atlanta Attack. Round 17 at super lightweight. For Phoenix, Rebecca Irwin. Atlanta, Ariel Davis.
And this is more opportunity for Atlanta, like fights that you have to capitalize on. So when you start to do the math, if you're on the Atlanta side, if you're up 4, if there are no knockouts, which is a big if tonight,
yeah, that's for sure.
You have to win 2 of these last 8 to be even, and this is one that you've almost automatically counted on.
Yeah, that you feel like you can win. But, it would be, I don't think you could suppose that there won't be knockdowns or possibly a knockout in this last 8. There might not be, but it certainly is possible. And if you're Rebecca Irwin, I hate to put it this way, you need to stay upright. And it's not to suggest she couldn't possibly win. She could, but it's a tall order.
And that's absolutely true. We hear coaches tell us, if we lose by 1 point, that's a win for us, that we hold them to a decision.
Ariel Davis was very aggressive toward the end of that last round, and our supposition was that she was trying to test the waters to see how she could make it happen. And if she lands a big left hook, she's already on her front foot in this match in a way that she wasn't this early in their first encounter.
It's suggesting that she wants to sit down and go for the bonus points.
And she wants to get Irwin against those ropes if she can. And that's where she did a lot of damage.
A good right hand by Davis.
And you made the point in the last encounter between these two that the aggression and the power of Davis has muted Irwin's offense. She's a little bit timid about throwing because you always know that's going to open you up to get hit with a power punch.
Yeah, so it makes you less trusting, confines you, makes you think defense first, and that's just what the top fighters can make you do. And there's the good jab in the right hand by Davis, and she tried to put that together in a sequence. We also had that replay where she jumped in with 17 seconds to go in their first encounter, hoping for more in a fight that she clearly had in her pocket.
And that's a bad place where, right there, where Irwin doesn't want to be. And you can feel her kind of wearing down a little bit here. I don't know if the clock will allow Davis to get a knockdown or get extra points, but she's trying. Irwin kind of putting a counter right hand out there to see if she can stem the tide a little bit from this Davis onslaught.
Well, both teams look like they'll come away with something. Atlanta gets a point, and Irwin, as you suggested, did stay up. There was opportunity here for Davis and not enough time.
Yeah, she got after Irwin in a big way here, had her against the ropes in that corner. Irwin landed a beautiful straight right hand there. And then for her trouble, because she opened up, she got hit with more punches by Davis. So great performance. What else from Ariel Davis?
Round 17 by way of unanimous decision from the Atlanta Tech, Ariel Davis.
All right, so Davis does the job, puts Atlanta back up 5.
Round 18 at light heavyweight, Phoenix Raiko Santana, Atlanta Jason Rosario.
And here's the flip side. Santana did everything, it seemed, but stop Rosario in their first encounter. Now it's up to Rosario to stay up. Dave Bontempo now, Bernstein with you. Sofia Gutierrez at ringside. Glad you're with us here as Atlanta has never trailed, leading 15-10. And here is one of Phoenix's candidates to try and make up points in a hurry.
Yeah, Raiko Santana, who got that 9th victory in the last encounter with Rosario. Rosario opening up a little more offensively here in the middle of the ring, and that will either really help him or really hurt him.
Oh, and he gets nailed by a left hook by Santana, who, you know, you measure your opponent from one fight to the next. You know nothing coming back. And here comes Raiko. Rack him up, Raiko, looking for more than 1 point.
Look, Jason Rosario was a big puncher at 154. He moved up to 160, where he had his last 4 fights that he's had outside of TBL and pro boxing, and now he's way up to 175. This is a different ballgame against a very aggressive 175-pounder in Raiko Santana.
And Santana has come out here with a mission. There's a good left hook by Santana. Not much coming back at Raiko Santana, so he stays balanced, opens up with both hands. A lot of time left still to play with. We have not seen Santana take a backward step.
Rosario trying to get the left hook in. He's got a good left hook, but of course, if he throws that punch too much, he will open himself up.
As he threw just a jab and got caught with an uppercut by Santana.
And there's that layoff to be considered, which I mentioned, 15 months for Rosario.
Michael Santana warned about the elbow.
The referee warns him and he said, "Me? You're warning me?"
It's always, he did it. That's they call arguing for the next one.
Yeah.
And you know, there have been a few elbows thrown in here. And here comes Santana, big shot and down. Talked about he's going for the bonus. 22 seconds. And some concern for Atlanta and Phoenix. Opportunity. You're Rosario, you've got to get to the wire.
Knockout! Knockout, mi gente, knockout!
After count.
Wow, that's an effort. Yeah, Michael Santana sweating his arms saying, "What's going on here? I want to try and get a knockout."
Well, that was a fortuitous break there for Atlanta. We talked about Santana would try to bring this team all the way back, and he almost did.
Well, it's a left hook that knocks Rosario down, and you see a combination in the left hook, and then in an interminable amount of time that only the referee can explain, he waited to bring Santana back in.
Unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Phoenix Furies. Santana.
All right, so Santana does bring Phoenix within 3. 6 fights to go.
Round 19 at cruiserweight. Phoenix Charles Pugh. Atlanta Money Powell.
And that brings more significance even to this rematch between Money Powell and Charles Pugh. Won by Powell in a pleasing slugfest not that long ago.
Yeah, a round to watch, and it's looking like it is that, because Phoenix is creeping closer, and he would like to, Money Powell would like to push that back.
Atlanta has never trailed, yet still up by 3. Phoenix very much there. As you look at Money Powell, now up to 10 points with that earlier win tonight, going above Adrian Taylor. And here's going to be an interesting question. Now, the 39-year-old Charles Pugh coming back round 19 after round 15. Can Money Powell make stamina an issue here?
Yes. And Money Powell's not the kind of fighter that comes after you with big volume. He's more tactical, even though he will land power shots as he did in the first round. Would he change his style a little bit and be a little bit more aggressive because of what you just said?
If you're Atlanta, you're hoping that you get a win, you go back up 4 with 5 rounds to go, which is good. You're Phoenix, you get within 2 or even lower than 2 if Charles Pugh does something big for you here.
Also, Money Powell is a very good body puncher, and I wonder if he'll be more tempted to try and go downstairs. I know it's only 1 round here, but still, you might, against, again, the 39-year-old with this quick turnaround. So far, Pugh's been pretty active here.
Yeah, bouncing around like he's 29, not 39.
You see Powell going downstairs, jabbing to the body. He's done that 2 or 3 times.
Pugh on the outside here. Different than that straight ahead plotting, and there is the straight ahead plotting, but with a purpose. And I think one difference tonight we've seen in Pugh than other fights last year and some this year, he's not just coming in. This time he's coming in throwing.
Yeah. Powell threw a couple of really good body shots, and there's another one. And I saw Pugh kind of let some air out for a moment or 2. So, but I don't know if there's enough time for Powell to make that a strategy at this point. But this has been a close round, but Pugh has been pretty active in it. So the question is, has his volume, ironically. We talked about the potential that he might be a little gassed in this fight, but he may have thrown more punches than Powell in this round.
And he does look fresh here.
Yeah.
We've seen him fresher here than in some other recent fights. The final seconds as they hear the bell. And look at Charles Pugh up on the bicycle. May have done enough. It's going to be close.
Yeah. Charles Pugh feels he won it. So does Money Powell, too. But they're both demonstrative about it. But it's maybe that 39-year-old might have surprised everybody with more energy in the second match in a quick turnaround. And there was some body work that he did. That was toward the end of the round. Smartly kind of holding on and then coming with a left hook. That was the body work by Powell that he did earlier in the round. And both men, as they did in the first round, getting some things done offensively. A little more volume from Pugh, I think.
TBL fans, the winner of round 19 by way of split decision. From Phoenix, Charles Pugh.
You are correct, sir. And Charles Pugh, the ageless one, comes up with a big win for Phoenix.
Round 20 at welterweight. Phoenix, Demarius Watson. Atlanta, Starlene Castillo.
Watson and Castillo.
Well, Watson lost for the first time in TBL in the last fight, in a very close fight with Javon Davis. And for Castillo, he won his debut in team boxing, beating Joaquin Camberos.
But one of the architects of the Phoenix comeback, Rico Santana, is standing by with Sophia. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. I am joined with Rico Santana now. He was named Fighter of the Year last year, and I just want to ask him, what type of pressure does that bring, and what that means to him, and how Team Boxing League has helped his success as an individual fighter and as a team sport. Rico, el año pasado ganaste peleador más valioso del año. ¿Cómo te ha ayudado como un peleador en un equipo, pero también como un individual?
No, esta liga yo lo hice a todas las dueñas. Gracias a la experiencia que tuve, gané la pelea más importante mía en Las Vegas, en la cartelera de Nelografo, donde también di KO en el primer round, y creo que la liga me ayudó mucho.
He says he owes his success of a fighter to TBL, not only as a team, but individually, because without TBL, he would not have gotten that spectacular knockout back when he fought in Vegas. Ya estamos llegando, we're almost to the playoffs. How are you feeling? How confident are you in yourself and your team in order to perform? Ya casi llegamos a los campeonatos. ¿Cómo te sientes de ti mismo y de tu equipo como entero?
Me siento muy bien, súper que contento. El equipo hemos ido de menos a más. Esperamos llegar a los playoffs y estamos listos, estoy listo.
He's so excited. We've been to the highs, to the lows, but we are ready as a team and we're ready for the championship.
All right, thank you, Sophia. We're a minute and 15 seconds away here. Watson and Castillo in a barn burner night.
Yeah, they are both going at it, and both men doing good offensive work. Watson was in a close fight before and didn't quite get the nod, and he's in another one now.
And the stakes enormous for Atlanta. Season on the line, 15-13 up here. Has been leading from the first decision on.
You know, Demarius Watson, I mentioned, he 11-0 as a pro. He's only 20 years old. Only fought one of the fighters he'd fought with a winning record. You wonder about a guy like that as a front runner. No, you see when he's in these tough fights here in TBL, here he has a loss in his last one, a close loss. He's battling away here against a very good pro who has much more pro experience than him. And Castillo's doing a very good job in this round as well.
Right, so they both put on a good performance, and they both make a good case for the judges, who will then render a very big decision. All these money round decisions now, very big.
Some of the action from that round, it was just non-stop during the course of it. And Castillo getting some good work done on the inside with the right hook, and they continue to battle away.
TBL fans, the winner of round 20 by way of split decision. From the Phoenix Fury, Demarius Watson. The score
Hold
Atlanta
on
15,
for the
Phoenix
home
14.
stretch. Phoenix is within 1 in a fight that Atlanta has led all the way. We'll be back for the exciting home stretch after this.
Se va a quedar. Esto no es un juego, esto es boxeo real, donde el alma grita y no existe lo normal. Golpe tras golpe, rompiendo el dolor, cayendo y subiendo con fuego interior. Esto no es un juego, esto es lucha sin fin, donde el miedo muere cuando entras al ring. Sudor en la frente, mirada feroz, solo uno se queda escuchando la voz de la gloria eterna llamando tu nombre, dejando tu historia grabada en los hombres. JuanSabeloTodo Deportes presente en la acción, sintiendo cada golpe dentro del corazón. En la lona o de pie se define quién eres, no fuerza solamente lo que tú quieres. Dolor en el cuerpo pero firme la fe, el campeón verdadero nunca deja de creer. Yeah. Boxeo, JuanSabeloTodo Deportes. La campana suena, termina el combate, pero el nombre queda, nadie lo borra, late. En cada historia, en cada campeón, JuanSabeloTodo Deportes. Vive en el ring. Vive la canción. Yeah. Boxeo. JuanSabeloTodo Deportes. Luces bajas, el ring encendido. Se siente el peso de lo vivido. Esta noche es pelea, la arena va a temblar. Dos esquinas listas, nadie se va a rajar. Guantes al aire, se siente la tensión. Es guerra en el ring, pura determinación. Desde la campana suena el primer round. Golpes como truenos retumbando en el ground. Sangre, sudor, respeto en cada acción. Orgullo en juego, corazón de campeón. Respira hondo, siente el tambor. Late más fuerte dentro del corazón. No hay vuelta atrás, no hay condición. Aquí se prueba quién tiene valor. Esto no es un juego, esto es boxeo real.
Tenemos a los heavyweight aquí peleando en 205 libras. El juego, el boxeo está 15-14 ganando los Atlanta Ataque, mi gente. Vamos a ver, no se vayan para ningún lado porque en estos pleitos de pleito pesado así, heavyweight, puede pasar cualquier cosa. Y este peleador de César Navarro, como que lo está cogiendo suave, como que está buscando esa trompa mágica. ¿Será que él tiene una derecha así tan fuerte? Vamos a ver. Faltan 15. Quiso venir a hacer algo, pero muy tarde. ¡Ay, tumbado, nocaut! Un nocaut en los últimos segundos del round. Yo le dije a ustedes que esto es así, mi gente. Es un nocaut ahí, ya ustedes saben. Tremendo nocaut. Después se quiso parar como un karateca y quedó mal ahí. Lo que pasó vergüenza tratando de pararse ahí como un karateca. Mira, mira, mira. ¡Anda, mi gente! El hombre quedó ahí. Dos puntos, se fueron ahora arriba por 3 puntos. Un 17 total. Quedan solamente 3 rounds con este que van a pelear ahora, mi gente. Vamos a ver lo que puede pasar aquí. Y discúlpenme que no estoy aquí en vivo ahora mismo, estoy presentándome digitalmente ahí, perdonen. Ya ustedes saben la situación mía de deshabilitado.
Atlanta has had magical things happen all night. Will it continue for 3 more fights?
And this one gets into the fray because of the Samuel Clarkson situation, and now this is interesting because these two fighters were not sure if they would be fighting a second time, and here they are. And Contraria coming out very aggressive, which is a little bit of a danger when you're fighting Hill, because we saw it in the last fight. He can land a counter left hand that can hurt you, and that's what he did in his last bout.
He did, and then when the opponent couldn't get up, what would look like a 2-point win became 4. And all of these
están joseando estos dos boxeadores aquí. Veo que Kevin está tratando de conseguir todos los puntos que él pueda. Recuérdense que ahorita se produjo un knockout entre estos dos caballeros. Vamos a ver, vamos a ver.
And has had some big leads during the course of the evening as well, but they keep shrinking.
Atlanta led by 7, and then also by 6. And Phoenix came all the way back.
Ah, no, verdad que fue entre Jeremy y otro, verdad, que se le agarró el brazo en el ring. El que se retorció el brazo, el pie. Sí, así sí, me confundí ahí, mi gente.
The magic coming from
1 minuto con 20 segundos en el reloj. Vamos a ver lo que producen estos dos boxeadores aquí el día de hoy.
This man here, Hill, with a knockout victory. And then in our last fight, a late knockdown.
Contraria's been very aggressive in this round. I don't know if that means he's winning it or not, because Hill has landed some good counter punches, and also Hill had his offensive moments.
But we are seeing urgency.
Parece que este amiguito del otro que él noqueó, que está en venganza. Vamos a ver aquí.
He scored a knockdown, but was he hit when he was down? That was the push, I think.
They're calling it a knockdown here. Well, that is monumentally huge, and a huge call here. Are we now looking at a 1-point fight or more? Now, Jeremy Hill, who scored a knockout win in his last, is on
Vamos a ver, está tirando para atrás el hombre. Jeremy quiere dar para atrás, quiere venganza. Vamos a ver. Eso es venganza de una vez. Quiere venganza ahora antes que se acabe. Vamos a ver, casi la tiene la venganza. Casi la tiene, casi la tiene. ¡Ay, se acabó! ¡Ay, gente!
35 seconds of this fight. Let's take a look at that knockdown first and what we think about that.
See what landed. It was a right hand on the top. Well, here it is. A right. Oh boy, right hand did get in, but it's hard to tell how much of a push it was.
Delay reaction from the hook.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's possible. And then Hill hurt Quintero and had knocked him against the ropes and from a right hand, but wow. A lot happening.
The winner of round 22 by way of unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Phoenix Furies, Kevin Quintero.
So Quintero again
17, Phoenix 16.
with clutch performances.
Round 23
Para mí que fue empujado, que él lo empujó al suelo y después le dio una trompa sucia en el suelo. Pero vamos a dejar eso así, ¿verdad? Eso está entre ellos, pero eso fue lo que yo vi.
About the horse trying to get to the finish line. It was up by 6. Now there's 2 fights to go. Atlanta has never trailed.
Quedan 2 peleas ahora.
Still has to bring a little something home.
And you know, a key point, I misspoke before.
Están perdiendo por un solo punto.
And Raúl García.
El Phoenix Fury, vamos a ver. Esto está súper cerca, mi gente. Estamos peleando con los Super Welterweight ahí 154 libras.
And that's why sometimes some people think they try to be a little savvy, not get a knockout the first time, go for a knockdown, and then try to get a knockout the second time. It's a big gamble.
Yeah, it is.
¡Oh! ¡Qué buena derecha directamente a la cara! Lo amagó abajo y cuando bajó los brazos para protegerse se la metió en la cara.
Will it stay that way?
Well, you know, Eamon Mitchell won the first encounter between these two. Good left hook and a right hand by Mitchell.
At the time he did that, he put Atlanta up 7-0.
Otro izquierdazo a la quijada. Volvía de guante rojo. Atlanta está metiendo mano. Está asegurando el round con muchos puntos. Yendo al cuerpo, a la cara, a todas partes. Y el otro la más está agachado. No ha hecho nada. Leno Meros no ha hecho nada. Nadita. Nadita. Vamos a ver si sorprende a uno con un knockout. 1 minuto y 10 segundos.
And he's been very, Medeiros landed a nice shot there. The best punch. I'm not sure he didn't stun Mitchell with that.
If he did.
It's the best punch Medeiros has landed.
Otra vez abrazado, qué cosa.
Work outside of TBL. Medeiros has 3 knockouts in 9 fights, so he's not known as a knockout puncher.
But even a knockdown would be so significant here. And he's got Mitchell firing wildly. There's good uppercut by Mitchell.
Mitchell has done a lot of good work in this round, but Medeiros has come back and they're just landed a nice left hook.
Bueno, ha venido para atrás y ha hecho un chip, pero Mitchell ha hecho mucho más.
Or half minute, after he got hit with one of those big shots by Medeiros.
Ahí están los 10 segundos.
Medeiros attacks.
Al cuerpo otra vez.
Another big call. They're all big in the money rounds. Will Atlanta be up 2, or will it all come down to the final fight.
Well, Mitchell did some very good work in this round. The good straight right hand.
Recuérdense, mi gente, prepárense para la chamaquita que entró nueva al boxeo de profesional de amateur.
That's the one that we thought maybe stunned Mitchell a little bit. Landed almost on his neck.
TBL fans, the winner of round 23 by way of split decision.
Vamos a ver, mi gente.
From the Atlanta Tech,
Y se fueron adelante por 2 puntos. Atlanta está ganando por 2 puntos. Vamos a ver, tiene que haber un knockout aquí para poder, un knockout técnico para que pueda haber una ganancia por vía de los Phoenix Fury. Cualquier cosa menos que eso terminará en derrota o empate por vía de Phoenix. Y Atlanta no tiene que hacer nada que solamente sobrevivir este round y intentar ganar puntos o no dejarse notar, no dejarse knockout ni técnico ni normal. Vamos a ver lo que sucede aquí, mi gente.
Now, they do have a 2-point lead. Had it been even, you know, he can still lose the decision and they can win it. But he's also been dropped in fights, so there's that risk.
And he was.
Tenemos a Ray Robinson peleando para los ataques de Atlanta con 18 puntos. Vamos a ver. Se está yendo de tú a tú. Se está yendo de tú a tú con Alejandro y Alejandro es peligroso. Alejandro es peligroso. Y se está yendo de tú a tú. Si Alejandro lo conecta bien y agarra un knockout técnico, se acaba esto. A favor de los Phoenix Fury. Alejandro se lo puede ganar para su equipo. Necesita un knockout técnico. Vamos, Alejandro, tú le puedes ganar esto al equipo tuyo. Necesita un knockout técnico. Buena. Buena combinación, intercambio entre estos dos boxeadores. No entiendo por qué Ray Robinson se está parando de pie a pie con Alejandro. Con lo único que él tiene. Lo único que él tiene que hacer es correr. Correr, pelear de lejos. Y no importa que pierda el round, gana el equipo. Yo pensaba que las mujeres iban a pelear otra vez.
Every team in this league has found at least one outing where they went way above expectations of what they had done in others. And for Atlanta, this is that night in which everything has been laid down. And they are 30 seconds away from being rewarded as a team, but still in danger.
You know, on some level, on the inside, Robinson's safer because
30 segundos.
He won't get hit with one of those straight left hands.
La verdad que no entiendo lo que está haciendo este joven.
Good job on the inside. He's throwing good body punches.
Arriesgando el equipo. Alejandro, no sé si está cansado o qué.
Came up with an 11 if you're talking about the first dice roll, or a 7.
Ahí está el aviso de los 10 segundos.
So far, anyway, you can draw up X's and O's, but
ya se acabó, ganaron Atlanta.
Tonight with Ray Robinson.
Ganó Atlanta.
Fortified by the first win, rolled the dice a second time. Came out okay.
Many stories here tonight. I mean, many.
Le partió la boca el otro.
One of the most interesting ones. Ray Robinson. No wins coming in here tonight. He gets a knockdown. He completely changes his style of fighting. I mean, completely. And then in the last round, when the old Ray Robinson might have been the guy we wanted to see, he comes out and does this. Blasting away against Meniano and taking all the chances in the world, but getting the job done. Trading right hooks with his southpaw opponent.
Los locutores están de acuerdo conmigo, eso es todo loco, eso ahí. Estaba supuesto pelear de lejos, era porque ya ellos estaban ganados. Él arriesgó el equipo. Decisión dividida. Se la llevaron la noche 19 a 16. Los ataques de Atlanta.
The attack right back in the thick of the playoffs. We'll be back to check out the honor rolls and everything.
Y podemos ver aquí todos los knockouts que hubieron hoy. Y ahora van a seleccionar los VIP, los 3 mejores bolseadores de esta noche. Pero no solamente eso, la mejor pelea de la noche también. Vamos a ver lo que se produce aquí en esto repartidera de reconocimiento al final aquí. Y ya ustedes saben que esto ha sido una gran cartelera aquí en Juan Sabelo Todo Deporte. Nos da gusto presentarle a ustedes estos programas que son totalmente gratuitos para toda la familia disfrutarlo. Con eso dicho, acuérdense que si están viendo esta transmisión después de su grabación en vivo, por favor, dejarme un gran te quiero, buena pelea, te visito de Atrelia, algo que yo pueda hacer un homenaje a nombre suyo en el próximo evento, ¿verdad que sí? Y también de que compartan el video, ¿verdad? O el canal en las redes sociales de ustedes más favoritas. Por si acaso ustedes no sabían, ustedes pueden compartir, por ejemplo, cualquier video que a ustedes les gusten en las redes sociales suyas para compartirlo con el resto de la gente que usted sigue y que lo siguen. Con eso dicho, mi gente, estamos casi logrando llegar al ring para los premios de esta noche, de esta gran cartelera que yo no pude presentar como 6, 7 rounds más o menos, ¿verdad? Más o menos por ahí. Ustedes me excusan, pero ustedes saben que soy una persona discapacitada y a veces tengo situaciones que tengo que resolverlas. Yo le doy lo mejor de mí dentro de lo que me cabe, mi gente, como persona discapacitada. Ya ustedes saben. Y vamos a ver aquí un avance de lo que estaba pasando hoy. Como vieron, ese knockout se produjo en menos de 5 segundos que faltaban para que la pelea se terminara. Ese knockout fue el que puso a Atlanta adelante. La estrella número 2. Kevin Young. Y el número 1. Ray Robinson, mi gente, el que se arriesgó. El round número 9 fue el round que eligieron para esta noche como el mejor round de la noche.
Still put on a show. How do you feel about the performance and the team as a whole?
Hablando con tus boxeadores, ¿cómo te sientas como lo que ellos hicieron como una unidad?
Is there any fighter or any round that caught your eye, and what adjustments did they make?
The heavyweights, they did a good job, man. It was close, a couple decisions. They're pretty close. Could have went either way, but good job to Atlanta. Did a good job.
Thank you. I remember you told me keep an eye out for those heavyweights. Thanks, Sonny. Hey, Coach, how you feeling?
Man, I feel wonderful, man. I feel wonderful. Like, we could have just easily threw the towel in on the season, man, but I just got faith in my team, and we keep fighting and fighting, and we're going to fight our way into the playoffs.
Now, we got to chat before the night even started, and you said, hey, I'm competitive. There's still a chance that we can come out on top. What type of adjustments did your team have to make? Because you guys were on top. Phoenix was closely following behind, but you guys came out victorious.
Well, the thing about it, I feel like our record don't reflect how good our team is, because the fact of we've been in a lot of close fights, and we fought all the great TBL teams in the beginning. So, you know, this just made it like even more easier for us to fight against like a normal team like Phoenix, you know what I mean? Because we've been fighting all the
boxeo de equipo, veníamos contra los mejores y por esa razón estábamos bajitos en los rankings, pero ahora con esta ganada que tuvimos aquí, cuando estábamos pensando que ya se había acabado para nosotros, la oportunidad de poder ir a las últimas peleas se echó para atrás, porque a nosotros ganar este hoy nos da la oportunidad ahora de nosotros participar en los grandes eventos que están adelante.
In the second fight, I just went out in the box and did my thing.
Congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Felicidades en la ganancia, gracias. No se oye.
Round 2 and 24. How did you think you did tonight in the ring? How did your team help you push through and come out victorious?
First of all, I want to start out by saying thank God. And the team cheered me on tremendously. I mean, I couldn't do it without it. Overall, I feel like my performance was okay. I could have did better, but I did good for my, you know, I did good.
And I heard how was it to have this victory here in?
Hold on, can you repeat the question again?
How important was it to have the home crowd here backing you up as you guys fought here?
Oh no, it was very helpful. It was very helpful. It was very helpful. I mean, we couldn't do it without the crowd for sure. Very helpful.
All right, well, congrats on the win tonight.
Gracias al apoyo también de la gente aquí alrededor
thank you. So what a performance indeed for Atlanta as they're able to go wire to wire. And this was tense, Al, because we saw all the things happening. Phoenix coming close all the time. And Atlanta not only trying to stave off for a win, but this was their season. So it was double pressure with each round.
In a previous life, you and I were both newspaper men, and we followed stories. Tonight, there were dozens of stories, and they all could have been the deciding ones. And then there were the ones that didn't happen. If Raiko Santana gets a chance to attack after he scores his knockdown instead of a long delay, does that change things? Do a couple of decisions change things? There was just so many twists and turns tonight, and Atlanta keeps their playoff hopes alive. And Phoenix, I think they'll learn from this experience.
La pregunta es
victory for Atlanta.
si dos de esas cosas habían sido diferentes, habían sido los resultados diferentes. Bueno, hubieron tantas cosas en el día de hoy que eso está difícil de determinar.
You know, they get one more, they could be right there. They were all but buried. That's why it was a must-win, and this team is able to get it. Congratulations to the attack. And we've got more coming up with Dallas and San Antonio. Dallas has 3 more chances, 3 more bites at the apple this season. So Dallas has something to say before it's over.
Oportunidad de venir para atrás para entrar a las grandes peleas para ver quién se gana el campeonato de esta temporada. Mira los knockouts aquí nos están presentando ahí, knockout. Aquí viene otro knockout, este knockout fue como un tardado. ¡Knockout! ¡Knockout! Y se me cuidan, mi gente, lo quiero bastante a todos. Gracias por todo su atención en este día de hoy. Se lo agradezco. Y cuiden.